Hi guys, Chris here and welcome to my Teclast X98 Air 3 unboxing and quick hands-on. So this is the cheapest model that Teclast have released, the cheapest Retina tablet. It's a little bit of a step down when it comes to specs because they've gone with the cheaper Atom Z3735 Bay Trail, 32 gigabytes of storage, and it also has Android 5 on there. This is just a single boot version. There is a 64 gigabyte model there that has actual dual boot on it, so it has Android 5 and Windows 10 on it. This is only Android, the cheapest model you can get. So this actually sells for about 108 US from China, which is dirt cheap. It's really to compete with the Cube i6 wireless only version that they released, which is priced about 130. This is also around 130 when you pick it up from online retailers with their cut on top of the price from when they pick it up from Teclast. So the design of the tablet has actually changed. Well, not really the design of it, but more the housing. The rear housing has now been squared off. They're using a different design, and this is what the Teclast X98 Plus is going to have on it. So you can see now that it's now a square design. My camera's having a little bit of trouble with the reflection on the screen. There we go. Finally got itself sorted out. So we have a square design now, but everything is in the same place as the X98 Air 3G model. So we have the power on, volume up and down, micro SD card slot that should support at least 64 gigabyte cards in there, the microphone here, micro USB port, that's our 3.5mm audio out jack, and here is our micro HDMI out there. So you can see the front of it looks identical to the X98 series because it's using the same iPad Retina screen there. That's the same one that's in the iPad Air and the Air 2. And on the right side, the same. So the square design, I'm not sure I particularly like it because it does actually make the tablet seem a lot thicker than it is, but I will measure them against an X98 Pro to see if it is actually thicker. It tends to look thicker to me. And the top here, plastic on the back, this top part here for the wireless antennas, that front-facing 2 megapixel webcam cam right there. And flip it over, we have a Teclast logo, there's the 5 megapixel autofocusing camera on the rear, and this portion here, of course, will be for the wireless antennas. Now, there's no 3G on this model, so it's just wireless N that it has on board. Here's our 2 loudspeakers on the rear. Hopefully these are louder than the X98 Pro, which has rather disappointing speakers. And the model number is the M5C5. And there's a lighter silver I've just noticed. So I'm going to compare this against the X98 Pro. Oh, but before I do that, I'll just show you what else is in the box. Sorry about that, almost forgot. You have the micro USB cable. And here's our OTG adapter, so normal sized USB port to the micro USB port so you can connect up a USB pen drive. And the standard 5 volt, 2.5 amp charger that we see Teclast using on all of their Retina tablets. And there is the X98 Pro. Next to it you can see with a much darker grey color. This is silver and this is more of a gunmetal grey. But overall the layout is the same. Speakers are in the exact same place. Ports are in the exact same place. If I put these two together, they fit in the exact same profile. But of course cases are not going to work on the Air 3 because it's squared off. And there is a look at the thickness of both of them. So they look to be almost identical, don't they, in thickness, and I'll measure them just to find out. I do prefer, I think, the X98 Air 2, Air 3G, and X98 Pro look with this rounded off corner. I think is actually nicer. Definitely feels a little bit nicer to me than having that squared off look. Tends to make it look thicker if I had them side by side there. So, thickness. Let's have a look and see if it actually is thicker or it's just creating that illusion that it is much thicker than it really is. So that is about 8.5, almost 9 millimeters. 9 millimeters there, the Air 3. And let's have a look at the X98 Pro. That is about exactly the same. Hopefully you can see that on the camera there. So thickness wise, they both seem to be identical. And they both have the same battery cell on them, so it's the 8000 milliamp hour battery in both of these here. And then they are side by side. Of course, a huge difference in price. This is about 215 US, and that's 130. So I'll just power up the tablet now. I'm going to have a look at the ROM. While that's powering on, just check the weight of it. So it's 532 grams. The X98 Pro weighs 529, so there's a 2 gram difference between both of the models. Just double check that weight. Yeah, there we go. So nothing there in terms of the weight. They're both pretty much identical. So the tablet is now powered on here. Have a look at the ROM. About tablet, just get this annoying sticker off. It's right in the way. So it's running Android 5, you can see. Android 5, and the ROM build is 1.04. Just quickly have a look at the free ROM space. We have user space available to us, which is available just shy of 24 gigabytes there. Let's see right there. And it is, of course, running Teclast's launcher, which I'm not entirely fond of. I just wish they would use a standard Android 5 theme, not have to have their own launcher on there. Just use the standard Android launcher would be really good, because it's not a wonderful launcher. So there's a lot of Chinese bloatware on there, as you can see. So look at how much free memory we have. So you get about 1.4 gigabytes of free memory there, which isn't too bad. That all these apps on here, normally you can uninstall all of the Chinese stuff, the bloatware that we don't need, and I definitely don't understand. So yeah, I can just go through and remove all of those, which is really good here. Play Store, is it installed on here? Yes, it is. There you go, Play Store. So I'll run some benchmarks on there, do a bit of gaming tests. I'll install Antutu, Geekbench 3, and just compare the performance of this, do some gaming, Modern Combat 5, Real Racing, Mortal Kombat X, go through some popular titles and just see how they perform. So do stay tuned to the playlist for the Teclast X98 Air 3 if you're interested in seeing those videos. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you soon. Bye for now.